good morning to you all. Let me begin by thanking His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Dr. E.G. Mnangagwa, and all of you who have found time to honor our invitation and be with us on this special occasion, marking the changeover of command between myself, the outgoing commander of Zimbabwe Defense Forces, and the incoming commander, General Emmanuel Matata. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a local adage which says in Shona, "Chinoburuga chinomhara," and in the Vele, "Ongapelio kuyahlola." And the literal translation in English is "whatever flies eventually lands." In line with this adage, I would like to say that my 51 years in uniform come to an end today. Allow me, therefore, to fly you past these 51 years of my life in the next few minutes. My career in the military started in January 1974 when I left Zimbabwe with my late friend Alexander Katema, whose pseudonym was Asap Ndinda, to join the liberation struggle. We crossed into Botswana, and a month later, we arrived in Zambia. In March, we and others were transported to Morogoro, a zebra training camp in Tanzania, where we commenced guerrilla training up to December 1974. In January 1975, I was in a group of zebra peddlers who proceeded to the Middle Eastern country for further training up to June of the same year. On my return from the Middle East, I was sent back to Morogoro Zebra Training Camp as a junior instructor until August 1976. While at Morogoro, I led a group of Zebra combatants from Morogoro to Buzagao for the integration of the Zebra Zambia combatants into the Zimbabwe People's Army, ZIPA. This is where I met Vice President General retired Chiwenga, the late General Chimombe, and many other Zambia comrades. In 1976, when ZIPA failed, I was transferred to Zambia as part of the first group of instructors who opened the first ZIPA training camp in Zambia. Later, I opened 2 other training camps where I was commandant, before I was appointed regional commander for Northern Front 2 as ZIPA operational region in the then Rhodesia, where I remained for the whole year of 1977. In early 1978, I was appointed a member of the ZIPA High Command in the post of Deputy Chief of Reconnaissance. In early 1979, I was elevated to the Chief of Reconnaissance and remained in this post until independence in 1980. After independence in 1980, I and 2 other ZIPA comrades, rather 3 ZIPA comrades, namely Todd Mpisi and Richard Mataure or Richard Ngwenya, were appointed ZIPA liaison officers based at headquarters 2 Infantry Brigade and were responsible for assembly points, Papa and Romeo. Here we met the late Anderson Muru, the late Charles Minoro, and Joseph Mjamba from the Zanda side. On attestation into the Zimbabwe National Army in 1981, and after a standardization course, I was commissioned colonel and posted to PS branch at Army headquarters as colonel quartermaster. Thereafter, I held many appointments from Commandant Battalion Battle School in Nyanga in 1985, Deputy Commandant Zimbabwe Staff College from 85 to 87, Commander 4 Infantry Brigade in Masvingo from 1987 to 1990, during which period I had 3 tours of duty in Mozambique with the brigade. In 1990, I was posted back to the Zimbabwe Staff College, this time as the commandant until 1992. In 1992, in the rank of Major General, I served as Chief of Staff Administration Logistics at Army Headquarters, a position I held until 1994. From early 1995, I served briefly as Chief of Staff Operations and Training at Army Headquarters before being seconded to the United Nations Angola Verification Mission 3 as the Force Commander and Chief Military Observer from September 1995 to June 1997. From July 1997, I served again with the United Nations mission in Angola, which was known as MONUA, up to May 1998, in the same appointment of Force Commander and Chief Military Observer until the end of my tour of duty with MONUA in May 1998. Upon my return to MONUA, I took up my former appointment as Chief of Staff Operations and Training at Army Headquarters until 2003. During my time as Chief of Staff Operations and Training, I also served as Force Commander of the SADC Allied Forces in the Democratic Republic of Congo from May to June 2000, and again from January 2003 up to the time the SADC operation in the Congo came to an end in October 2002. In January 2004, I was elevated to the rank of Lieutenant General and appointed Commander, Zimbabwe National Army. 13 years later, in December 2017, I was promoted General and appointed Commander of Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the position I am handing over today. During the course of my service from the liberation struggle to this day, I met a lot of people who helped to shape me into who I am today. Although most of them are late, I would like to thank them all for their contribution towards who I am today. May their souls rest in peace. To those of these comrades who are still alive, I want to equally thank them and wish them good health and wisdom as they continue to contribute to the well-being of our country. I also wish to thank all of the men of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces who supported me throughout my service. This made it possible for me to be elevated to higher ranks during my service. In this regard, may I take this opportunity to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces for giving me and my family the rare honor and privilege of being Commander of Zimbabwe Defense Forces for the past 8 years. Your Excellency, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, my experiences during the Liberation War and in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces during operations in Mozambique, in Somalia, in Angola, and the DRC will always inform my view and attitude towards the well-being of our people. Your Excellency, as I thank you, allow me to also thank the people of Zimbabwe for their support not only during my tenure as the Commander of Defense Forces, but during the various commands that I have been entrusted with during my service in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. In this vein, allow me, Your Excellency, to also make special mention of the business community through the Commander's Executive Interaction Initiative for supporting my interactive programs between the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and the business community. Through these interactive programs, we're able to support some of the needy in our country through various charitable organizations. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief and our Chief Witness worker today, as I retire my uniform for civilian life, I will always take the Zimbabwe Defense Forces as my second home and look into the future with an open mind as I try to fit into the new environment. As they say, you can take the uniform out of the soldier, but you cannot take out the soldier in him or her. At this juncture, I would like to welcome my successor and congratulate him on his elevation to General and appointment to lead the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. To you, General Emmanuel Matatu, I wish you all the best as you pick up the baton of leadership of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces from where I have left. I hand over these fine officers, men and women, to you in good order, in the hope that you will work with them to better the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and maintain the good legacy of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, which is anchored on our integrity, honor, discipline, accountability, and hard work. Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief, Dr. E.D.M. Nangagwa, the Vice President, the Honorable Minister of Defense, and all protocols observed. I leave the Zimbabwe Defense Forces after 51 years in uniform. During this period, I served my country in different capacities and did so to the best of my ability. I therefore retire from the Zimbabwe Defense Forces with my head held high, knowing that I have not brought disrepute to both the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and our country, and that I have not done anything to put our beloved country in harm's way. Like Paul said when he was writing to Timothy, as the Senior Chaplain General indicated earlier, I can also say I have fought a good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. I think I can say the same for my contribution to our liberation, or to the liberation of our country and its well-being thereafter. Your Excellency, to conclude my farewell address, I would like once again to thank you and all those who have contributed to my life and work to this day. In this regard, I also want to thank my wife and children, the Greater Sibanda family, the Hove family, relatives and friends for your support throughout my service in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. My most sincere thank you also go to the officers and men of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces with whom we achieved many successes, but also endured numerous challenges over the years. Also, my appreciation goes to the commanders, officers, and men from other security services who helped make the execution of my mandate manageable. Last but not least, I want to thank you all for coming to be with us on this important day to witness my transition from military life to civilian life. Thank you all. God bless the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.